Welcome back in. It's about 12:25 on your Monday. Lawmakers recently made a major change to every state law that has the word marijuana. They got rid of it, swapping the term out for cannabis. Supporters say the word marijuana has a long history of racism, but people in the pot business say much more needs to change to bring equity to the cannabis industry. KIRO 7's Dee Dee Sun has this afternoon's Western Washington Gets Real.
Pot, weed, grass, Mary Jane, flower. No shortage of terms to describe cannabis. But Washington State is taking one word officially off the table: marijuana.
The term marijuana itself is pejorative and racist.
Governor Jay Inslee signed the bill that strikes out the word from all state laws, rewording dozens of RCWs, replacing it with the term cannabis instead.
Even though it seems simple because it's just one word, but the reality is we are healing the wrongs that were committed against Black and brown people around cannabis.
The bill passed unanimously and takes effect this June.
And glad to see that they have changed it.
Joy Hollingsworth owns Hollingsworth Cannabis Company with her family, including a pot farm in Shelton. They also make a line of non-THC hemp products like candles and lotions.
This is our Lavender Love, which is my favorite.
She says for people of color in the industry, the word marijuana comes with a burden.
It had been talked about for a long time in our community about how that word demonizes the cannabis plant.
State Rep Melanie Morgan sponsored the bill to strike out the word, first presenting it last session.
To replace the name marijuana,
she testified on the history of the word, which originates from Spanish.
It was negatively associated with Mexican immigrants. It was used as a racist terminology to lock up Black and brown people.
Harry Anslinger, the first commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, played a big role in the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, which banned selling or possessing weed.
Harry Anslinger, who said that, and I quote, "Marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind, and that most marijuana users are Negroes, Hispanics, Caribbeans, and entertainers."
And the ultimate end of the marijuana addict.
To show you some of the mentality around weed at the time, several lawmakers referenced this anti-pot propaganda film, Reefer Madness.
Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
Hollingsworth says her mother taught her about the trauma behind the word.
She was the one who educated us on the term and how it was derogatory and we shouldn't use it anymore. We have a lot of people, especially in the Black community, that went to prison over cannabis for years.
This 2020 ACLU report found that nationwide, Black people were still 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana possession than white people. State Rep Emily Wick says the bill changes the conversation around cannabis in Washington.
And although we call it a technical fix, I think it does a lot to undo some, or at least correct in some efforts, some serious harms around this language.
For people who hear this and think, oh, are we going too far? What would you say to that?
If you have a group of people that are saying, hey, this word is derogatory, this brings pain, this is just not something we should use, we need to have a better understanding of listening to folks. Just change it.
But Hollingsworth points out there's a lot more work to do when it comes to equity in the cannabis industry.
We'll take any win, right? But we don't want to get caught up on like the performative equity piece where we're just talking about words and not actually legislation and policy.
One change she's hoping to see, a piece of cannabis tax dollars reinvested into communities of color.
We will feel like the industry this has paid off is when we see those funds get put into college scholarships. Thinking about creative ways to make impactful, sustainable, scalable solutions in our community is what I'm looking for.
For Western Washington Gets Real, I'm Dee Dee Sun.